What's up, my kings, queens, and trolls of YouTube? This is your girl, Queen C. This is probably going to be a day later, but you know, one of my last videos was a video of one of my fellow queens writing in after seeing one of my videos and basically sharing a story with me about her nephew touching her child inappropriately. So I wanted to revisit this subject because I did do a video a long time ago when I first got started on YouTube, because I can personally relate to these situations and I understand, you know, what people are going through. And so I just want to, you know, get more into it because it's a lot of people out there that need help. It's a lot of people out there that are going to be confused with different relationships they have after exposing an aggressor and stuff like that. So I just want to talk to you guys about that for a second, because it's nothing worse than, you know, battling a situation and feeling like you're alone. And to be honest with you, a lot of times in situations where there's an aggressor in families, there's also children can be aggressors too. So when you have, like, you know, underage aggressors in families, you know, it can be a very, very trying situation. It can be an exhausting situation, and it can be a situation that does not leave you with much support within your family, because a lot of people like to turn a blind eye to it. A lot of people like to ignore it. A lot of people don't want to be involved. They don't want to be in the middle. A lot of people are just flat out cowards, and that's the best way to describe it. You know, so you're going to encounter people in the family that will still, you know, deal with these aggressors. They will still allow them in their households. They will still, you know, party with them and have fun with them like this bastard didn't, you know, physically violate another child or mentally violate another child. So, you know, with that being said, you know, it's not you. It's not you. These people are just cowards. And that's the way you have to look at it. What you have to do is do your due diligence to expose that aggressor. You know, you let people know that there's an aggressor in the family. And once you do that, there's nothing else that you can do. All you can do is sleep well knowing that you've made everyone aware that that individual is an aggressor. Because then if they still choose to have that sick individual within their household, around their children and stuff like that, that's on them. That's on them. You can't really worry about them. You have to let them be the cowards that they are. And whatever they reap from that situation is just what they reap. I know from experience, you cannot expect support from family. You can't expect support from family. If that aggressor shares mutual family, you cannot expect support, because like I said, people are cowards. They're cowards, and they would rather not say nothing, not address it, act like they didn't hear about it, and keep on kikiing and not knowing, like, oh, because ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss, and it's definitely a better feeling for you when you're a coward. A lot of people don't like to be, you know, woke. They don't like to acknowledge certain things that make them feel uncomfortable. So they continue to act like it didn't happen. They continue to let this person hold their child, play with their babies, and be in their baby's face, knowing fully well that they have done something sexually inappropriate to another child in their family. So you have to have a hardened shell, and you have to be willing to say, fuck those people. Fuck those people. Don't let them drag you into anything that goes on. You know, if that aggressor ends up doing something to their child, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can report it to child services. And when you do report it to child services, it is good because all the children get questioned, they get help and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's levels to this. Depending on age, there's levels to this depending on what actually happened, because, you know, just like women that are abused, they can be physically abused or they could be mentally abused. The same thing with children. It doesn't have to always get to a physical level for a child to have been, you know, abused. You know, there's the stages of grooming where, you know, people, you know, start testing the waters to see how far they can get with the child and stuff like that. So, you know, don't look when you call CPS, especially if the aggressor that you're calling about is another child. Don't expect any arrests to be made. Don't expect, you know, a whole bunch of legalities, because that's not usually what happens. That's not, they have findings, they may send the child to get help, they may do this, they may tell you to keep these child's away, they may put them in therapy, there's different things, but there's not going to be any arrest made. There's not. So what you do within the family and what you set up, what boundaries you set up, those are going to have to be what's effective for you and your child, if your child is a victim. But be diligent, be diligent in keeping your child safe. And if you have other family members that want to turn a blind eye to this, the best thing that you can do is not allow them to keep your children. Don't allow them to keep your children, because if they don't have enough sense to be diligent in protecting their child from that aggressor, they're not going to do it for your child. So the best thing that you can do is not allow any of these people to keep your child. If it wasn't for, in my situation, if it wasn't for people, finally coming and saying they believe what happened within my family, I wouldn't deal with them. I wouldn't deal with them. But, because they have said that and they've made that clear, that's the reason why we can continue to have a relationship. But as far as the aggressor and the aggressor's family is concerned, my family will not have anything to do with them ever. We will never speak to them again. We will never deal with them again. And that's what you have to do. You have to go on in life and you have to cut these people off, because a lot of times they're going to fight you. They're going to make you feel like you did something wrong. They're going to make you feel like your child did something wrong. Whoever the victim is, nobody wants to believe that their child is capable of doing such a vile act. So they're going to try to turn the tables around. They become toxic to you. So the best thing that you could do for your child, your family, or whoever the victim is keep them away from the aggressors and anybody that supports the aggressors, because it does not mix. It doesn't mix. Like I said, there's an organization called Stop It Now. That's www.stopitnow.org. They offer so many resources. You can write into them. You can talk to them. You can ask them questions and they will respond back to you. They also take donations to be able to keep things running. So even if you are against child abuse of any form, send them a donation, because it's a great group. They helped my family when my family needed it, and it's good to be able to have those resources, because like I said, we don't realize how many cowards we are surrounded by until shit gets real. We don't realize who is a coward. The people that we think will support us, will support our children, our family, will support a victim. We don't realize that literally we are surrounded by a bunch of cowards. Now, I'm not saying everybody is cowards, but the ones I'm talking about, the ones that ignore it, the ones that hear about it but choose not to say anything or address it and still be around those people. We are surrounded by cowards. So don't ever think because you are surrounded by cowards that it's anything to do with you personally. They are just cowards and punks. You have to let them marinate in whatever situation they create by ignoring the ammunition you've given them to be proactive for their children. And you have to move on with your life, protect whatever your child or whoever it is, the victim. Be supportive. If you have a family member that has been victimized, support them. Be that person that is actually not going along with the rest of the cowards. Stand up for that person, support them, show them you love them. Make sure that they have a resource that they can come to and know that their child will be safe in your home, because they don't have anybody else to help them, because everybody else is cowards and doesn't want to take sides or doesn't want to acknowledge this and doesn't want, because it's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Be that person. Be that stand-up person that speaks out and helps that victim, because victims are the ones that need the most support. They need the most supports. You're doing your aggressor a disservice if you don't get them help, if you don't acknowledge the problem, if you don't make them acknowledge the problem. You are doing your aggressor a disservice. But I'm not here about the aggressors. I choose to stand for the victims, and I'm telling you guys, don't ignore signs. If your child doesn't want to go somewhere, find out why. If your child is acting out, find out why. If they don't want to be around certain people, find out why. Don't force them to give hugs. Don't force them to give kisses. Don't ask them in front of people if they were being good. Do all these things at home. Don't make them feel like adults have control over their bodies and they have to be forced to give affection. That does not help them. That doesn't help them. That may put them in a situation to where they feel like they have to go along with whatever this aggressive wants them to do because they are family. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video. Check out my video predators. Share these videos. Let's bring awareness. Let's help each other, you know, cope. Let's be supportive for each other, because, you know, we need more heroes and less cowards. If you want to email me, you have any questions, email me at queenchrisshonda@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace, guys.